Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. This is episode 115 and today we are starting things off in the village because in the previous episode of Hermitcraft we built this house right here and I really want to try something. My computer is making a funny noise and the frame rate is somewhat struggling, especially because I have After Effects, Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve and also Photoshop open, so I'm surprised my computer's even managing to do this. But that looks pretty fancy. Very nice. In fact, the entire town, if we can lift off successfully without dying, looks rather cool with these shaders on. Building's easy with shaders. I mean, you could place a dirt block and it would look cool with shaders on. Apart from my base. Apparently my base still looks like a potato with shaders on. Anyway, after that slightly depressing revelation, to start things off in today's Hermitcraft episode, we're going to be heading over to the Mumbo Templeoni area. I think that potentially that's like a work in progress name at this point in time. But as you guys know, I am starting work on the Mumbo Temple, an area in which we can worship Mumbo and also get plenty of cacti from the cactus farm. And we have cleared out a massive space so far, but there's still a massive amount of area left to go. So let's get started. And yes, before you say it down in the comment section, I did notice this. I've forgotten to take the resource pack off from my previous video. Spoon moment number 1. Anyway, I thought it would be a good idea to showcase the mining in the form of a third-person time-lapse, and while we do that, I thought I would talk about future Minecraft updates and future Minecraft concepts. You see, in the previous Redstone video, we had a little bit of fun coming up with different ideas for Redstone components that I personally would love to see in the game. Now, it was great fun coming up with that video because obviously I came up with all the different concepts and then I was tasked with trying to create textures for these blocks, which was tricky enough, and then I was tasked with the process of trying to showcase them in a video using various different techniques. If you're interested, I used cutting video to create some of the effect. I used command blocks in one of the examples, and that was the observer motion detector block. And then also I used just underground redstone and secret redstone and hidden things elsewhere. So it was a combination of them all. That's how I actually created that video. But it was a lot of fun, and we came up with a bunch of ideas. There was also a ton of ideas down in the comment section, and I like coming up with concepts for potential things that could be added into Minecraft. And it got me thinking, after going through the redstone ones, what are other ideas that I think would be cool in the game? I actually tweeted out an idea on Twitter that went down incredibly well. It was extremely popular. People seem to get very excited about it, which is, well, number one, I feel like books should be able to be stored in bookshelves. Okay, that kind of goes without saying. That would be really awesome. But also, if they do add that in, I think that storing specific enchanted books in bookshelves that are surrounding an enchanting table should affect the likelihood of you getting those enchantments when you're using the enchanting table. So say, for example, you've got your 15 bookshelves around your enchanting table. If you fill in those bookshelves with Silk Touch enchanted books, then you're much more likely to get Silk Touch from the enchanting table. I think that's an awesome idea. I don't know what the technicalities are behind it. It's probably completely impossible, but I think it's fantastic. And also, you know, we've seen all sorts of cool ideas. I think Ellie Beatmaker said that you should not trample crops when you're wearing feather falling boots. That's fantastic. All these ideas are fantastic, and I'd love to see them introduced in later Minecraft updates. So let me know your favorite ideas down in the comment section. I'm sure you've got hundreds of them. And there we go. A couple more hours of mining down, and we have got one massive room. This is huge. This is bigger than any other part of my base. Definitely, and we're going to be going further down than that. I would say probably about 6 more levels so that we're on level with this. That's kind of where I want to be. So whereabouts is the floor for this area? Oh, we're pretty close. We're 1 block off. I had not realized. Okay, well, as I say, we have got a lot of space to play with, and we are going to be working on this project in today's Hermitcraft episode, but for now, I've actually run out of time for today, so I'm going to pop off, do a quick AFK session over at one of the farms, and then I'll be back in a little bit. I decided to chill out around the storage system while all of the items go through, and I must have been kicked pretty early on because they are still flowing through, and we have got tons upon tons of items still left in these chests. I mean, we've actually overflowed. Oh, that's not too bad. Oh, so we're down to the last chest. Oh, that's no problem. That is until you realise that all of these hoppers underneath are fully backed up with items. So essentially, the items from these chests have now transferred into the hoppers, and that's about as far as they've got. Anyway, wacky storage systems aside, our next plan is to do a little bit of this. Now, I don't think we've done a little bit of this in this Hermitcraft season, so this should be quite good fun. Do you reckon that's enough gunpowder? Yeah, I think that might be enough gunpowder. We are going to need a lot of it, because I'm kind of concerned, actually. I don't want to go over the top and destroy my whole base. I don't think that should happen. So we've got 1 stack of TNT, that's 2 stacks of TNT, and we could be on course. No, I think that should be enough. 3.5 stacks of TNT, and I do apologise for the horrendous ticking noise. I have this thing on automatically fire all of them, so you can make sure that there's no hiccups while I'm loading and disloading chunks, which means it becomes very, very loud. Now, before we start with the exploding, I just want to make sure that our floor is at the correct level. So I'm going to be removing 1 extra layer from the bottom of this place so that the floor is on the same level as the storage room floor. So the storage room floor is down here. We were 1 block too high, so I'm quickly going to wipe this out, and then we'll start placing the TNT in the walls. And would you look at that? I'm very glad that I decided to go 1 extra layer down, because we have got ourselves 3 diamonds. I was kind of expecting more than that. Maybe this one will be better. So 1, 2, 3. Oh! 5 this time, so that's 8 in total. So, now that we have a lowered floor, it is time to do the honors. Now, I'm going to be totally honest, I'm a little bit scared for this one because the storage system is right here. This TNT is probably going to cause a little bit of damage. In fact, I'm actually going to remove it. We're going to get rid of that one for the time being, and I think I'm actually going to explode them from this way down. Maybe I'll place a TNT there. That should be okay. Alright, let's do this. There's no stopping it now. Okay. That is exactly what I wanted to happen. No way. Oh, perfect. Cool. Right, there we go. So we now have quite a cool looking wall. So I'm just going to keep doing that up these walls. And we should have ourselves a really awesome, slightly cavey looking area. No clue what I'm going to do with this one though, because as you can see, yeah, we're pretty close. We're pretty close to the redstone here. Now let's see how this looks. Feel like I probably should have placed those ones 1 block lower. Yeah, there's definitely a ridge there. Okay, well we can just go along and place TNT on those blocks now. Alright, that didn't work, so I think we might have to compound the TNT with a little bit of manual mining as well. So that is going to punch out these blocks, and that will get rid of that ridge, and then we still kind of have some ridges going on, so I might have to punch into some of these and just make things look a little bit more messy. So we have 1 wall sort of done. I've just exploded all the TNT across the top. You can see that we still have that little platform there where the TNT was resting on, so I need to break out those blocks. But that looks cool. Now, I probably should explain that we are going to be doing some extra bits to this room. We're not just going to be leaving it like this. We'll be adding in some stone and creating some structures throughout it. Almost in a similar style to how we've done the storage system. So it'll almost be like archways of stone, so you can see like there's an archway going across there. That's kind of how I want to be building this place. And that does look quite good. Alright, I'm going to clean it up, and then we'll do this one. Oh dear, I've just realised that this storage system has been running, but the redstone clock, I'm assuming from where the water flooded in, hasn't been running from this point onwards. So we have got an enormous backup of items. Enormous. I don't know what to do. I don't even know how to activate the redstone clock. Okay, I would say that this side is now done as well. So if we just pop down to the bottom here. Good. Okay, that looks great. Right, let's do the back wall, and then we need to work out how on earth we're going to do the ceiling. Yeah, I have absolutely no clue. Despite this, we are now completed with the back wall as well. So we have got fully exploded walls. And I have to say, I thought that was going to be quite easy, as in we just place in the TNT, we let it blow up, and then it will do its thing. But no, there was a lot of manhandling of the stone there. I had to go inside, and I basically restructured all of these walls because most of them ended up looking really quite ugly, and they still need quite a bit of restructuring, but we'll be doing that at some point in the near future, adding in the archways that are going to be going up into the ceiling and everything like that. So we're going to work on the ceiling, but I thought we'd take a break from the TNT explosions to actually do a little bit of work on some of the builds that are going to be going into this area, because I really want to work out how they're actually going to look. So what I really want to do is come up with a design for the pillars that we're going to be using to hold up the ceiling. So we're going to have, I think, maybe 4, potentially 6 pillars going through the center of this place, which is supposedly going to be keeping the ceiling up to stop everything collapsing down. And I thought we could do them in a sort of Mumbo cactoni theme. So we're going to be running up the grass, because all of the bottom of this area is probably going to be made out of grass. Or should we use sand? Because cacti live in deserts. No, I personally think grass for the time being, and then we'll have cacti dotted around. So we'll place in all of the grass going up like this, and then the pillar is going to stretch upwards, and then it's going to kind of fan out into the ceiling and look very magnificent, but with a twist. My idea for the Mumbo cactoni twist was to have the mouth in there. It looks... Oh, I don't know. It doesn't look quite as good as I was expecting it to. I hadn't realised quite how big Mumbo cactoni's mouth was. This is huge. The pillar's having to be massive to fit it in. This actually looks quite cool. I actually quite like that. That would be very funny, to have a handful of those pillars with the mustaches on either side, and then you'll have the pathway going through the center, and then maybe a small Mumbo cactoni in the back. Yeah. No, that's improved things. Oh, this could be good fun. Now that we have 4 of them in, not 100% certain on them. I think maybe that needs a little bit more work, and I think I like the concept, so I think I'm going to take that forward into the actual build, but I just wish they weren't so short and stumpy. I think they need to be a little bit slimmer and maybe a little bit taller. I can't actually remember how tall the build is, so maybe they might have to be 4 or 5 blocks taller. Either way, this is the sort of idea that we're kind of going for, but don't take it 100% as it is. Take it with a bit of a pinch of salt. Let's pop back onto the Hermitcraft server, finish up the ceiling, and then start work on the floor. So this is the idea that I've had. I've created a 2x2 corridor. And that is making its way down, leaving huge amounts of stone left. Yeah. But it's not too bad. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to do that, and then we can just clear up that stone. We'll have to do some parkour jumping between them, but it shouldn't be too difficult. That being said, I really need to light this place up a bit more. Oh man, this place is getting deadly. This is what happens when you don't light up an area in a base where everywhere else is lit up. I really want that creeper to go just so it'll take out the skeletons. So it just blew up. Oh, for goodness sake. I don't think this is a particularly efficient way of mining out. I mean, we're really not taking out much stone compared to the amount of TNT that we're using, but it is very satisfying to watch. Like, yeah, it's pretty cool. So there we go, that's that strip done. Alright, I would say we're probably about a quarter of the way cleared here. This is the sort of shape that we're ending up with, and it's actually not too messy. It's not too bad. It's definitely not the most efficient because I've just run out of TNT. I could have sworn I was going to have enough to do this whole project, so hopefully we have enough sand, which by the look of things we do. But oh, I've got to be careful because this system is actually running. Okay. Alright, I think I have to do something like that. Just quickly place things in. Yeah, that works. This could be bad news. A, it could mean that we've gone a little bit too high. but B, I hate everything. Oh, it could be, it might be alright. I think we've only taken out a small amount of redstone this time. I've got to say, progress is a bit slow. Very slow, in fact. So we still have 3 stacks of TNT, but this is so much less efficient than just mining out the area. The reason I'm doing this is because I quite like the destroyed look that we're getting. But, I mean, I could have done this myself. I could have done it without the use of TNT. It would have been much cheaper and much, much faster too. Now I thought once again it would be better for me to just do some form of time-lapse for this process because it was just, I don't know, it was very slow. I mean, the TNT exploding just didn't end up working particularly very well, so I just moved over to a slightly messy mining technique and we're breaking into the water and everything. It was all going horribly wrong. But anyway, for this little quick time-lapse chat, I just want to say that I'm a little bit terrified because it only seems like yesterday that it became 2018 and now we've almost finished January. That's already scary, okay? The fact that we've already gone through 1 month of being in 2018, that's ridiculous. But also, I've just been looking at my YouTube stats. We hit 2 million subscribers on the 5th of January. That means that it's almost a month ago that I hit 2 million subscribers. What on earth is going on? Seriously. That is completely, like, I mean, it seems like I was just yesterday I was on the approach to it. That's how it feels. And it's almost a month. And we've gained 50,000 subscribers since then. We're almost at 2.05 thousand I don't even know what to say anymore. My life is just disappearing in front of my eyes. Wow, I was not planning on making this a clearing episode where I just clear out spaces, but we are now finished, finally, and we have got ourselves, as I said earlier on, I mean, it was massive already, but now that we've used the TNT, obviously we've punched out the walls on each one of the sides. We've raised up the ceiling by another 4 blocks, which caused massive problems with obviously the ocean, and there is still some ocean flowing in because the ocean floor is literally right there. There are water droplets dripping down off in that direction, and yeah, we just have a huge space that's very dark, spawning a lot of mobs down at the bottom of the base. Cool. We don't have any plans yet. In fact, you know what? I think we should spend the remainder of this episode actually discussing the plans and ideas for what on earth we're actually going to be doing with this area. Maybe I should have thought of that before I made it. So to do this, I thought I would make use of the second account because this will allow me to just shoot through the base and explain my plans without having to worry about actually moving around. So if we go underneath the floor here, we can see that this is the area that we have to play with, and this allows us to actually see the build in comparison to the other parts of the base. So you can see how massive this area is in comparison to the storage system. That was a big project, but as you can see, this is considerably larger. And even the aquarium is massive. This is a massive space of the base, and it is tiny in comparison to that massive block that we have over here. Alright, now in terms of how we want this build to go, what I was thinking is, so we're going to have like a grand entrance. So the way that we're going to enter this place is we're going to have some form of launcher or elevator or potentially flying machine that takes us up into this area up here, and then we'll have a walkway which comes in to a set of stairs which are going to make their way down from this wall right here. And it's all going to be decorated, probably with vines and things hanging down. It's all going to look very old Indiana Jones temple-y type thing. And then this is where the pillars are going to be going. So we're going to have maybe 1, 2, 3, I would say 3 pillars on each side, just going up like this, and then we'll have big arches wrapping over, matching up with these walls, and we'll have an arch over in the center, and then in the middle, we will have Mumbo cactoni, and I would say kind of coming out of the wall. So instead of having a statue, we'll have him imprinted into the wall. So it'll reach up like this, and it'll go up like that. We might not be able to fit the sombrero in because we don't have too much space height-wise, but we should be able to fit in at least most of the cactus. And he's going to be built out of some form of block, which is going to make him stand out. And then back there, I don't even know if I might I'm tempted to kind of extend this out and clear out even more space back here and have cactus farms behind him that you can see in windows, and then the cacti will run out in water streams and be presented in a set of chests at the front of Mumbo Cactoni. Yeah, that seems like a pretty cool idea to me. And then all this other area can be like hieroglyphics and things in the walls and all that sort of thing. And just like the story of Mumbo Cactoni. Obviously we'll have the pillars. I mean, it's gonna look insane. This is a totally daft project. Completely ridiculous. And just not necessary in the slightest. But it's one of those things that's just good fun. I'm enjoying working on these funny little projects, and not little, but these funny projects that we can just work on over a couple episodes and just try and make as ridiculous as possible. Yeah, alright, okay, that's kind of the plan at this point in time. If you have any suggestions, please let me know down in the comment section. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please also hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. And as per usual, you should check out the latest film on the filming channel, released just the other day. It's pretty good.